Hey guys, Nice here, and welcome to a game about feeling a black hole. This video will be a bit different than my other videos. This is going to be a full game playthrough, since it's quite a short game, and I'm going to tell you what you need to do and how the upgrades work, basically giving you an overview of the game and talking a little bit about optimal strategy as well. So in this game, you have to feed this tiny black hole in the middle by hovering a mouse over these meteors. The ring will do constant damage to anything inside the radius, and you do not need to click. Clicking does nothing. Every second or so, it will apply the damage. In this game, you have an upgrade tree that is fairly linear, only being able to go to one path at the start, since the other paths are unlocked later when you have much more money. The way you get to the upgrades is when you run out of time in the main game mode. So when you start, you have about 10 seconds to collect as many meteors as you can to feed your black hole. And then when the time runs out, you go to the upgrade screen. Each meteor also gives you money to spend in the upgrades. With the upgrades, you're able to increase the speed in which it damages them, the number of asteroids, the amount of damage it does, and also the size of your radius. In the center there is a pie chart that slowly increases as you get mass, and once the pie chart is completely full, you go to the next size of black hole. You can upgrade the mass of the asteroids, which gives them a new color. So orange, the more massive asteroids, which give more money but take more hits to break. There are also upgrades that upgrade your critical chance, so every so often I'm going to do double damage to these asteroids. One of the upgrades unlocks a mechanic where when your black hole upgrades, you get bonus time. So now when we reach black hole level 1, we're going to get more time to get more money each run. And you'll start gradually getting achievements for getting a certain amount of money each wave, unlocking certain upgrades. Further on into the game, asteroids now have a chance to add time, and upgrading your black hole level makes more asteroids spawn. And now asteroids can spawn other asteroids when they are destroyed. The main strategy is quite obvious at the moment. Just find the portion of the screen with the most asteroids, and then once they're broken, go to the next one in order to break as many as you can. Usually you'll get enough money to afford the next upgrade, so go into the upgrade screen after each run. You really have to do the same run again without any upgrades. It's always a good idea to aim for the more massive asteroids, is because the amount of money they give relative to how much they take to kill is much more than the other ones. It's almost exponential. Getting to $10,000 now gives you electric asteroids. These electric asteroids will damage nearby asteroids, making it easier for you to kill them. So now the strategy becomes focusing on the electric ones. In terms of the order of the upgrades, generally, try and go for the ones that upgrade the asteroid's mass first. As I said previously, the bigger asteroids seem to give you a lot more money, leading you to having more money for the new upgrades. With the electric asteroids, you can upgrade how many other asteroids they zap, and also asteroid forking. Each asteroid now has a chance to fork other electric asteroids, which zaps many more than the regular, especially when combined with critical strike. So now at this stage of the game, killing asteroids is spawning loads more asteroids. Getting a bigger black hole also spawns more asteroids. You're going to have loads of asteroids on the screen at once, so make sure you're aiming for those electric ones. Now you're able to get golden asteroids, which give you bonus money. You can further upgrade how much money these golden asteroids give you, so you want to aim for those along with the electric ones. The money that the golden asteroids give will scale throughout the run with further upgrades. And just like any other asteroid, they can crit and give you more money. There is also one achievement that you won't get from regular play, and that is talking about the clicks that I mentioned earlier. Since clicking does nothing, there is a stat that tracks useless clicks. And if you get to 100 useless clicks in one wave of the black hole, you'll get an achievement. So it's best to wait until your runs are lasting about 30 seconds, or enough to give you time to do 100 clicks. At this point, your electric asteroids are going to be zapping almost half the screen, and this should help you to reach black hole level 10, which gives you the first milestone. This will give you 100 million, and will now unlock planets. At first, planets act like regular asteroids, but soon enough we're going to get a very cool upgrade. So you're able to upgrade planets to have a chance to spawn a moon, and breaking a planet with a moon will cause it to orbit around your breaker radius, giving you bonus damage and speed. And you can stack them as well. They don't last for very long, but you can also upgrade how long you get them for and how many can stack. So the new strategy becomes aiming for the moons to do massive damage. I was unable to record the sound effects for this run, but playing it yourself, it's very satisfying getting the moons. Hearing your speed click faster and faster as you break everything is quite fun playing this game, but you have to experience it yourself. With further upgrades, you're able to increase the buff the moons give to your speed and damage, making them even more valuable. And it's definitely needed for the bigger sized planets that take way too many hits to break. There is a further upgrade to the moons. When you kill a planet with a moon, it has a chance to spawn another moon. You can now get a whole ring of moons around your breaker, doing crazy damage. At this point, the game just becomes an aim trainer, just frantically going for where all the moons are, breaking everything, finding more moons, breaking everything. Getting to $1 billion allows you to unlock the Comets. Comet is a little rainbow ball that spawns, and when you get it, it will act like the moon, but it will give you 100% crit chance for a small period of time. So that, when combined with all the moons, gives you crazy damage. You can upgrade the buff duration and the frequency of the comet spawn chance. There's also a small chance to spawn a comet meteor shower, which will spawn about 10 comets around the screen. And that'll help you to reach your next milestone. Something that's useful is that the upgrades will tell you the amount it's being upgraded by. So if you're going from 30 to 60, it'll say plus 30 chance, which you are able to do yourself, but it is just useful to have that stat there. Reaching 1 trillion gives you the power to unlock stars. In the beginning, stars act just like moons and asteroids, but you are able to unlock electric stars, similar to the electric asteroids, zapping other objects in close proximity. There is also another form of stars you can unlock, which is the laser star. This will cause a huge beam to appear on the screen after killing the star, which will do damage to anything that crosses the path. And with further upgrades, you can make this beam incredibly fast and incredibly wide, almost encompassing like a quarter of the screen. Further on, you unlock yet another form of star, which is the supernova star. When the supernova explodes, a big ring will show up and it will damage anything that was in the ring. It does look like that the ring does a lot less damage than the laser though, and it possibly does percentage damage, but I'm not sure. So I always go for the lasers instead of the supernova ones. So now the main strategy is just to pick up as many moons as possible and then go for the laser and supernova stars. The planets will be very small, but you are still able to just about make out where the moons are. The laser from the laser star anyway will probably hit a couple moons, as at this point it's nearly half the screen. And getting to the final class of upgrades, the yellow upgrades, that should give you enough mass, enough stars to feed the hull to the max capacity for the main game. However, there is also an epilogue you can play, where you keep all your upgrades from before, but now you have these 8 main upgrades that does very small increases compared to previous upgrades, but you are able to upgrade these up to 10 times. And after maxing out these upgrades, you'll be able to get the black hole to 1 extra level, completing the epilogue. Here is the full final run. As you can see, the stars are absolutely gigantic. So that's it for the main game mode and epilogue. There's also some other game modes for the remaining achievements. Quickplay mode is designed to be a quicker version of the full game, lasting only 20 to 30 minutes. The upgrades are a bit different, giving you 4 paths to choose from instead of the one defined path. You're also able to get comets early, although they're not very good until you got enough crit damage. If you remember, the comets give you the 100% crit chance, but at the start you're not going to have much crit damage. Again, I made sure to push for the mass upgrade, as you get crazy amounts of money for unlocking the new colours. And then try and get as many electric asteroids as you can, and get that forking upgrade. Bish bash bosh, your entire screen is filled with electricity, zapping all the asteroids. But make sure you don't make the same mistake as me. I got so many damage upgrades, the electric upgrades, that I actually just ran out of asteroids, so make sure you buy more asteroids that spawn each wave, or just more asteroids in general, so go for those when you're doing a lot of damage. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You don't get any planets or anything in this one, it's just asteroids. So the mini challenge mode is the next one, and this one lasts about 30 minutes, but this time the upgrades are in the grids, so you get a bit more freedom to choose which one you want to do. And there is no electric asteroids in this mode, so it will feel a bit slower, so you got to be a bit more careful with your upgrade choice. You sort of just buy what you think is right. If you've got loads of asteroids on the screen, you're not doing much damage, go for the damage and speeds. And then if there's not many asteroids, you've killed them all, go for more massive and more asteroid spawns. One thing I will say is that towards the end, you get loads of upgrades for the critical strike damage, but it only increases it by 10% and you already have 200%, so it basically won't even make a difference too much, maybe give you 1 or 2 more damage. So you want to go for 100% crit chance first, or close to 100, and those are the grades that are at the top and at the bottom. And also the upgrades in the corners are very powerful because they'll give you much more asteroids, but you also just want to save up for the top middle upgrade, because that will upgrade your mass of the asteroids by a lot, and then you just get so much money. Like that increased my money by like 5 times, and then literally one run with that one and I could afford all the other upgrades, all the other critical strike upgrades, and then I instantly won. So yeah, the corners and the top middle one are very powerful in that mode. So the line, or the speedrun mode, I think it's quite funny because you actually scale the least in this one. It feels very slow, you don't get much damage or speed, and the asteroids are very small. Basically you get 9 upgrades, there's just a line, that's why it's called line, and you can each upgrade them multiple times to make their respective categories more powerful. One thing to note is that upgrading the asteroid mass past the first time will actually only increase the chance of getting orange asteroids. You won't actually get to that yellow one, which is what I thought. So I actually saved all that money just to get it twice, and then I'm like, oh, it just gave me more orange ones. So that probably put my time, added like an extra minute to my time. I guess the aim is to try and get as fast as you can on this one. You don't really spend much time in the upgrade screen because there isn't that many upgrades to get. It's mainly just main game mode of breaking asteroids. So you want to actually go for the upgrades that go for the size instead of the mass, because the size ones, they'll take more hits to break, but they'll give you like double money or triple money depending on how many upgrades you get. I think you can get up to 5 times, so you get like, double, triple, quadruple, quintuple money. So go for those ones. And it is like, clickers to the upgrades will scale in cost. Didn't spend like 5 minutes saving for one upgrade. That means you just go for something else. But yeah, you want to aim for the orange ones as soon as you unlock them, as they give you $6 and they don't take 6 times as long to break. And then here's the final run of this mode. As you can see, we're actually quite underpowered. It's literally just not very quick, not very exciting, but that's speedrun mode. Finally, there is Zen mode. Honestly, I think Zen mode could be improved on. Just have infinite time and you just have to break 10k asteroids, and there's no upgrades. You just stay in that breaking asteroid state forever. And it would be a bit more satisfying if you got more like breaker speed, if you were killing them a bit faster. I feel like that would be more satisfying to look at and more fun. And I feel like it takes 10 minutes, about to be 10 minutes to break them all. So maybe either make it so it like gives you upgrades over time without you having to press them. So like after like a few minutes, it just starts spawning electric asteroids, and then it starts spawning like golden ones and things like that, just to make it more interesting, because it is quite boring. Like, it literally nothing changes in 10 minutes. So that's my feedback on that one. But yeah, when you've done all those modes, that'll give you all the achievements in the game if you manage to get the useless clicks achievement. Yeah, I managed to beat it in about 4 hours, so if you're someone who likes to get achievements, this is a good game to get when it's on sale, and it's quite satisfying, especially the main game mode to do. Yeah, but thank you for watching. If you made it this far, leave a comment saying you got this far and what you thought of the video. I am planning to upload a few more videos on this channel from different games. I've been contacted with some developers to send me some more games to have a look at. Yeah, have a wonderful day.